el perro es mi corazón. El gato, el gato, el gato no es bueno. Cilantro es cantar.
Frittata!
There, you got your Modelo bottle. Are you happy? Are you happy with my alcoholic binges just so you can see me stereotyping my people?
And you people ride donkeys!
Are you satisfied? Good. The amount of subscribers this channel is gaining is insane. All I was asking for is 80k, and it seems you guys want me to go to 90k, because you know 100k is the face reveal. Bit by bit, I'm gathering those items, and, you know, of course, because of my heritage, I'm buying them used at the tianguis. I'm not gonna buy a brand new poncho. I ain't buying a brand new sombrero. I'm going to some tianguis in the middle of the desert with dust flying everywhere to get those things. I didn't mow enough lawns today to afford any of it, so I gotta upload. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe. One thing I do love about PlayStation Fanboy Salt is how incredibly insecure these guys get when a new piece of hardware is on the market or is about to launch. You know these guys don't play their consoles when all their attention and all their focus gets pivoted to whatever piece of hardware they feel is a threat to their system, which is, I don't know. As a PC gamer, I don't feel a need to buy any single console. I don't see their purpose, but at the same time, I don't see why console gamers would stick to one console if they can afford all of them. Corporate branding has caused people to have cult-like behavior when it comes to which console flavor they want. As you know, Microsoft revealed the Xbox ROG Ally. Yes, Ally, not Ally. I get it. I said it wrong. Don't blame me. Blame my Mexican education system. Yeah.
Did you just congratulate me for reading?
Word. I already talked about the device. If you want to hear my opinions on it, I'll leave a link to the video doing so in the description below, and my overall thoughts on the Xbox showcase. One thing I didn't get to mention, however, was pricing, because I can imagine this thing is going to be expensive, and if it's anywhere above 600 bucks, it's probably a no-go for me, which sucks because I like the concept of this device. I like that they improved the grips. Well, I don't know why they improve. I mean, they added grips. And the seamless swapping between different clients for different games and storefronts is a lot more useful than people want to give it credit for. Now, when it comes to credit, that's the funny thing. This device has PlayStation fanboys soaking their tampons right now. They hate seeing Microsoft do this. They hate that Microsoft isn't just isolating their system and only allowing Xbox games and Xbox gamers. The partnership here could create a potentially intriguing device. We'll see how it turns out. In the meantime, these guys have lost their collective minds because it was officially announced today that yes, you will be able to play PlayStation games on this Xbox branded device. PlayStation first-party games will appear on Xbox/Ace's handheld hardware, says Microsoft. Because these handhelds run Windows, you have access to all the games you can play on Windows PCs. When Stefan Totilo quizzed about PlayStation games, oh my god!
You can't do that. What's going on?
It's actually happening. Oh no! Oh no! Poor Dreamcast guy, somebody go check on him. He's gonna faint and fall flat on his face and break all those new teeth he got replaced. You mean to tell me that Microsoft has a handheld that can actually play PlayStation titles natively, while Sony only has a handheld that can stream PlayStation titles? Are you serious? Is Microsoft seriously giving more support? How is it possible that we have multiple handheld devices that can do what Sony can't do with their own device? How are PlayStation fanboys supporting this company who wipes their ass with your money and says, have a streaming tablet, while everybody else can play your games natively on the Steam Deck, on the other ROG Ally, and now on this Xbox ROG Ally? How in the world did Sony seriously just allow that? My best guess is they're not gonna allow it for long, but I really don't know what they can do. This is definitely gonna lead to some sort of court case, because Sony is a strange company. They're okay with PC gamers and other handhelds playing their games, but if there's a handheld with an Xbox logo on it, then there's gonna be a problem. So for right now, take advantage. It's quite literally called the ROG Xbox Ally. It's literally built to instantly access the Xbox Game Bar, which is also built into Windows. This is less than one step away from being completely against what Sony would like, which is why I'm wondering if they are tolerating it because of a technicality, or if soon they plan to put an end to it like they did with Nvidia. The interviewer asked a Microsoft representative when I asked Microsoft if that means that PlayStation's recent God of War games, which have been released on PC, could run on these new Xbox branded devices, a device with a big Xbox button and logo on it. A rep replied, because these handhelds run Windows, you have access to all the games you can play on Windows PCs. And as I've seen so far, yes, these PlayStation titles can be downloaded directly off of Steam onto this device with an Xbox logo on it, which at the end of the day is essentially what consoles are. Custom PCs with a brand logo on them. And it always made no sense to me, personally, that Sony was so hesitant and against allowing Xbox to play their titles when they allow Windows, a Microsoft product, to play those titles. You may as well just let the Xbox console also have access, but that's where Sony's stubbornness comes in. This device seems to bridge that gap, whether Sony wants it to or not. The only real solution I see going forward is if Sony outright pulls all their games off of Steam in order to prevent this, but that's just plain foolish. Sony does not operate like their fanboy base does. They actually care about money. Fanboys care about brand image. And that's why they are having a meltdown, having a debate over this, insulting everybody. There are some tweets I can't show you because I think they legitimately would violate YouTube's guidelines if I even splashed them on screen. Crazy shit being thrown at me just for daring to point out that the Xbox branded handheld can actually do what the PS quote-unquote handheld can't do, and that's play its own games natively. Ouch. No wonder they got pissed at me. Because when you're that devoted to a corporation, criticism like this is treated like an insult to their own mom. No, I'm kidding. They would actually stand up and swing fists over PlayStation and not their mothers. You can play PlayStation first-party PC games on the Xbox ROG Ally X, Microsoft confirms. There was speculation that Sony would block their games on Xbox hardware, but that's not the case. That's not an Xbox Mate device! Why wouldn't they work? It's just a regular Asus ROG Ally!
Emotional damage.
So this device that Microsoft worked closely on with Asus, with their console-branded logo on the start button, not even the start button, it's literally a dedicated Xbox button. Literally! Is not an Xbox device. Then what the hell is this button? It's not a Windows button. It's not a PlayStation button. It's not a Nintendo button. It's not a Steam button. What the hell is it then? Actually, tell me this. What's the name of the device? Face it. These guys are losing their minds. Face it, PlayStation fanboys. You're clasping onto any little bit of exclusivity you have left, and you can't cling onto it for long. Never in a million years did they think this would happen. But that's where Microsoft played 4D chess, and Microsoft as a company, personally, to me, is cancerous. But them working and spending billions of dollars to ensure exclusivity as a concept dies is one of the things I actually do like that they're doing. The concept of play anywhere, any game you want, on any operating system of your choice, to them is evil. It's wrong. It shouldn't be done. Consoles should remain closed ecosystems that are restrictive and don't allow users to play the games that they want. They want their hardware to have less functions. It's insane. It's so funny too how they won't say the full name of the device, because if they say the full name of the device, then it gives it away that, yes, it's an Xbox branded device. Granted, it's a third party, and I'm not rooting for Microsoft here. I just love the misery it brings PlayStation fanboys, because the misery Nintendo fanboys feel over criticism of Nintendo is the same type of euphoria I get when I see PlayStation fanboys lose their minds over the increasingly shorter list of PS5 only titles that they have. To me, it's absolutely absurd that there are still a group of gamers out there who truly believe keeping systems locked away and denying access and holding games hostage is good for the masses. And they will claim it's all because of competition, acting like competition can't exist in different forms, which we are witnessing with this current day and age of digital media. How the hell do you compete in that sphere? Because it's harder to do when you have proprietary hardware. Why these guys still believe in segregating platforms for the greater cause of the corporations is beyond me, but even then, is it really good for the corporations with how much the gaming market has grown? To outright deny that Xbox has anything to do with this device as there's an Xbox button on it is hilarious. I get it. They want to operate off a technicality that, okay, well, it's a Windows device. That doesn't change the fact that when consumers go out to buy this thing, it gives off the impression that there is PlayStation support for an Xbox device. Xbox fans don't understand. This is their Sega moment. Oh, please, remind me the last time any Sega device was able to play Nintendo games. Stop. For the love of God, get over it. Not to mention, Xbox has already been in the hardware market longer than Sega. Yeah, I know. That's a stat that actually kind of blew my mind. Every single Xbox generation, even since the 360, these guys have been saying that's the last Xbox console. Hell, after the first Xbox console, they said there would be no more. And here we are, and they've already outlasted Sega in the hardware market for a longer period of time. And it hasn't stopped them from putting out more devices. These guys do not want competition to exist at all. They don't want Sony to be challenged. They don't want consumers to have more options. They just want Sony to rake in all the profits and be the only company and the only successful one. And I don't understand why. This is a win for gamers. Well, that is until we find out how expensive this device is, of course. Then we'll see how much of a W it is. My best guess is no less than $900, in which case I will not be buying one at that price. The very distinguishable Xbox button, the very distinguishable Xbox game bar, the very distinguishable Xbox controller grips. It is an Xbox device collaborated with Republic of Gamers, okay? Why they are in denial about this is entirely tied to their fanboyism. They do not want PlayStation to have their aura diminished because other gamers can play their games. They want to feel special for owning a PlayStation, but those days are long gone. They miss when you had to buy specific hardware for specific software, because then it gave them bragging rights because their personality is attached to a brand. PlayStation as a brand is simply too big for something like this to ever hurt them. That's the reality. They know it won't hurt PlayStation. It'll just hurt their pride. Not just that, but here's the thing that really doesn't make any sense to me. As a PlayStation gamer, Sony has let you down. Instead of giving you a proper handheld that can actually natively play PlayStation titles, they made a handheld that relies on you streaming to play those titles. So isn't this a good thing? Isn't it a good thing that there is hardware out there that allows you to play those PlayStation titles on the go? Why should it matter which brand does it if the PlayStation titles are all you crave? This is where competition will start to thrive. It will encourage Sony to go make a proper handheld. And isn't that what you guys want? No, of course it's not what they want. They just want a world where Sony dominates everything because they were raised by this brand more than their fathers. Seeing the handheld market thrive is a good thing. Innovation is key here. Not that I think the Xbox handheld ROG Ally thing is that innovative, but it is bridging a gap. One that fanboys are entirely reliant on for their own personality. And I love seeing it taken away from them. I love this. And if you do as well, if you like seeing console fanboys lose their minds, then you're tuning into the right place. And for that very reason alone, like, comment, share, and subscribe. That being said, on the road to 100K, and I'll see you in the next video.
Free Congo sucks ass.